What's good, YouTube? Clutch Moments back with another video, and today we're going to be breaking down the 3 best landing spots for Paul George. So let's go ahead and do a quick breakdown on him. You know, my thing with Paul George, is he a superstar or is he a star? That's a big question. So he's had some accolades. He's a 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA star. George, believed by many, could potentially be the #1 option on a championship team, which we haven't seen yet. But although he could be a superstar, I see him as a second scoring option. He just hasn't shown me anything through his 7 or 8 years in the league that he has really grown into that. We know he's had that injury kind of hold him back. So I really think he needs a system that allows him to flourish. And that's not a problem. That doesn't take a lot away from him. He is a very good scorer. He can be an all-around player at times. So basically, what I view him as, I could describe George as an alpha dog mentality with a beta performance, if you know what I mean. He has a superstar mentality, but he puts up a second scoring options numbers, which is very good. I mean, he's good. It's just like when he wants the ball last, do you really want to take the last shot with Paul George? Okay, I know I'm really trying to break him down a little bit here, but to find the best fits for Paul George, we must break down his strengths. George doesn't have to have the ball in his hand. He can actually be a very great off-ball player, but he does need to be involved in certain ways. So George shot 40% from 3 last year, which is incredible. His second highest. His other one was 41% from 3, nearly 41% from 3. He is a lockdown defender and at times can unlock all of his offensive abilities. He can catch fire and drop 40 on a night. So he has the abilities to really carry his team on certain nights while shooting fades, contested layups, and draining contested jumpers. So now we are going to break down the teams that would best fit Paul George. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is my favorite one, and the next one, you've heard about it in the rumors. But this is my favorite one. This is perfect. The team complements him so well. I believe Paul George this is his best option. The Sixers roster complements him so well that Ben Simmons, being a great point forward, allows his teammates to get involved. A big problem with OKC is, Russ demands the ball, and he's a train. He doesn't know how to control himself. He seems to be, he gets his assist, but he does it in a selfish way, if you know what I mean. He tends to hold the ball. He can be quite reckless, turn over the ball, kill momentum by the Thunder and give it to the other team. Stuff like that. It couldn't get Carmelo or his teammates getting involved in the game. So Paul George won't be the best option on this team. But guess what? He can be on certain nights. Ben Simmons, great point forward, allows his teammates to get involved. And also you have an all-around center in Joel Embiid, sprinkled with shooters such as Robert Covington, free agent Redick. I think they'll be able to contain him. They won't have to throw $20 million at him again. That's ridiculous. The market's not set up for teams to throw J.J. Redick $20 million. I could see J.J. getting around $8 to $10 million. They could easily do that. They got a great amount of cap on like a 1 or 2 year deal. J.J. Redick would come off the bench, though, maybe, in the starting lineup. That's the stretch where you could possibly keep him. I know he wants to be in the starting lineup. You have people like Marco Bellinelli also, and you're going to have the 10th pick in the draft, so you can get some depth behind that starting lineup. So if the Sixers land Paul George, here's a projected starting lineup. Point guard, Ben Simmons, basically the point forward. At the shooting guard, you got Paul George, Robert Covington at the 3, great shooter. Amir Johnson can inside score and grab rebounds. Or Dario Saric, who I like more as an all-around player, can really dish the ball to. And Joel Embiid. That's great size right there. Ben Simmons is a very good defender too. George, very good defender. Covington, a very good defender. Embiid, he just needs to get more in shape, and he'll be a very good defender too. And this team has really good defensive potential. This lineup would bring great size and defense with high assist totals too. Ben Simmons would be dishing the ball very well. And, of course, a mix of inside scoring and outside scoring. Amir Johnson tends to score on from the inside. You got people who can take it in the lane too. Ben Simmons scores from the inside. If he just develops a little bit of a jumper, don't get me started on how great Ben Simmons could be. There's no freaking roof on his ceiling. He could end up being the best player of all time. Call me crazy, though. So, yeah, I could just see the Sixers really winning the Paul George sweepstakes. So let's go ahead and get into the second option, a solid second option for Paul George, and of course is his hometown Showtime Lakers. Lonzo Ball, who many consider overhyped, had an underrated rookie year with 13.7 assists and 7 rebounds. Actually, just to know an interesting star player, Draymond Green put up nearly the same numbers. So, yeah, I don't think he's overrated. The dude played a little hurt. Yes, I know he's not. He was overhyped, but that's thanks to his dad. Can't do nothing about that. And another scoring option, Brandon Ingram provides great ball movement and is a good scoring option as a third or fourth scoring option. And Kyle Kuzma is going to start at power forward. You got him coming off he came off the bench, averaging 15 plus points per game. Very impressive. Probably fourth or fifth in my rookie rankings. So that kid's going to end up being great. It's a very good young lineup right there. You have two soon-to-be second-year players in Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma. We don't know what the center's going to be yet. We know they're not going to keep Brook Lopez. He's a liability on defense. Can't switch off screens and stuff like that. They're not going to pay him. Somebody. I feel like somebody's going to give him like a $10 million contract when they're only going to be willing to give him like a $5 million contract. He just didn't perform that well like he did in Brooklyn, where he had the ball all the time. This lineup would have great diversity from point guard to power forward because we don't know where the center is, and it's a lot of young talent. Lacks a little bit of experience. Yes, Paul George maybe would have to do more than he would in the Sixers. That's why the Sixers in front of them is Paul George at times is that guy. He's that guy. He's going to have to be that guy, which I don't know that he would be able to do in LA, but that would be awesome for him to play in his hometown of LA. Great stuff for him. And the team with the third most possibility to land Paul George, to me, is the New York Knicks. This is a very slim possibility, but I could see George. I don't see many other teams getting involved. I don't see the Spurs doing it. You got Rudy Gay locked up on money. Kawhi, we don't know what the hell's going on with that. It's pretty crazy what's going on in that situation. Nobody knows. But I could actually see George going to the Knicks to pair up with Porzingis, even though he won't play next year, possibly. We don't know. It could be a probability, but I'm hearing possibly. And, of course, you're going to have the top 10 pick, too. I believe it's the 8th pick, if I'm right. I could be wrong there. So, basically, your starting lineup would be Frank Ntilikina, Tim Hardaway Jr., Paul George, Kristaps Porzingis, Enes Kanter. It's a little bit of a funky lineup, although Porzingis might not play. Next year, this lineup would have a high-scoring trio of Tim Hardaway, Paul George, and Enes Kanter. Even though Enes Kanter is a horrible defender, Tim Hardaway is not known for his defense either. It's a very good defensive duo in Frank Ntilikina and Paul George. Frank Ntilikina, I believe they'll give him the nod. You can't hold him back any longer. I mean, what's the point of drafting him in the top 10 if you're not going to start him at all? So, guys, that's it on Paul George. I really liked making this video. Like and subscribe, please. I'm going to keep making these videos. I don't think I've missed a day yet in like a week, or like 4 or 5 videos, 6 videos in a row. So, guys, that's it. All right, guys, I'm out.